This Sharash Ibar is an old word for most of us, but it's what the Most High gave me for some reason, and I just want to be obedient. Uh, you guys know all that by now. This is our tribal declaration. These are Israelite scrolls written by Israelites. If you don't understand the Israelites, then you won't understand these scrolls. And we're finding that out more and more. Even the recent revelation via Shamaria's research, just discovering the picture of the eye doesn't make the eye sound. Again, it's the culture of the Israelites. If he didn't take that time to do that research, we would have never came across that information. And it's just the facts of the case. And now we understand that it's not an eye sound, it's just a picture of the eye. And we take the first sound of the Hebrew word for eye, which is ayan, ayan. So that's what we're saying here. There's been many Gentiles recorded in scripture who was with us and understood our way of life. For instance, one of Moses' second wife, I believe, Zipporah, I believe that was her. Most High was about to kill Masha for not circumcising the boy. And Zipporah, who was a Gentile attached to us, she understood the commandments, and she went and circumcised the boy. And that stayed the father's hand. Another instance where the prophet Jeremiah, they were put him in the dungeon. They put him in a dungeon, muddy dungeon. Wasn't any bread in the city, and it was a pagan Ethiopian attached to us, an Ethiopian servant, who says that there's no bread in the city. The prophet's going to die if we don't go get him. So it's always been Gentiles attached to us who understood the Most High's commands for his people, and they were willing to obey the Most High's command. They understood the culture. So that's what we're saying here. If you don't understand the Israelite way of life, you're not going to understand what the Bible is saying. We're not saying that you have to be an Israelite. We're not saying that you have to, convert. You can't convert to an Israelite. There's no way. I don't care what these people say. You can't convert to a bloodline. You can't convert to a bloodline. I don't care if I eat pizza every day for the rest of my life. I won't convert to an Italian. I can't. That's an Italian food, but me eating an Italian food every day of my life don't make me an Italian. And it's like that with these scriptures. You can read these scriptures, rehearse these scriptures, and you can practice the covenant with us. It's not going to make you a Israelite. An Israelite is a national bloodline. So just because strangers can attach to themselves to us, that doesn't make them an Israelite. The one elder who did that, the elder, I believe, was Eleazar during the Greek captivity. He captured the Edomites, our cousins, and he forced the Edomites to come and adopt the covenant. And I hope I'm not being disrespectful to the elder, because I haven't shed any blood for the nation. I haven't, swung any sword for the nation yet. But I'm definitely ready to. So I don't want to be disrespectful to the elder. But when he forced those Edomites to, air quotes, become Jews, that was error. You don't force someone to adopt a covenant. That's not written anywhere in the prophecies. We don't subdue a people and make them take on the Most High's covenant, because the Most High didn't make a covenant with these people. So just practicing our way of life don't make you an Israelite. That's what I want to share that. Take a few minutes, Mashapat. This is our word for worship. The pagans say worship. This is the Hebrew word for worship. And I'll play more of Zamaria's album.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Get up. Get up. Get up. No setbacks. Everything aligns with the will of the Father, so nothing goes on unless He let that. And it's really our pride, feeling like we too high to be considered a try. Gotta check that. I should time on my line. I tell him get thee behind and hit the client and slide. He can check back. And I'ma be acknowledging the time just staying on my assignment. You can bet that. Kumbaya, when it wrong, move like Kevin. You can't move the rock. Shed and slide on all my neighbors to the cooler rock. Seven trumpets split the sky. They like, who is that? Every knee gon' bow, confess hallelujah. Child of the kingdom, my garments got ZZs. Shine like Moshe, so they don't wanna see me. I fix my crown, now I'm feeling like Solomon. Change on my neck and go. He said, get up and wear your crown. Don't forget you're my child. Get up and follow now. I'm with you in the world. Get up, oh get up. I'ma hold your hand and lift up. Get up, oh get up. I'ma hold your hand and lift up. Get up. I knew this beat was hard when I first heard the track. I know you used to singing, but right now just know it's rap. He'll take you out your comfort zone when it's time to snap. The way you pulled me up and I ain't never going back. Yeah, it's time to get up. If he say up, he ain't talking about a sit up. We up, feeding on that matter, get your bread up. Feeling like I'm Lazarus, Messiah, don't be get up. And ain't no need for us to compete. Kwame, Rasharala, yeah, we all on the same team. One Allah high, different tribes with the same breed. They say YAHAWAH, shine us on the coming king. Get up and wear your crown. Don't forget you're my child. Get up and follow now. I'm with you in the world. Get up, oh get up. I'ma hold your hand and lift up. Get up, oh get up. I'ma hold your hand and lift up. Get up. Hey, man! This guy's serious. Get up, man! He's right around the corner. It's the middle of the beat. I mean, he's right around the corner. Yahuwah, gone run it up 2 times. Righteous rules, see my belly done full when we feast up. Hey, old school, we gon' run it like a 71 Chevelle. Glass up my cup, take your time. Fall in line, greater He has made us turning water into wine. Got that rather tat, but I'm cool like that. Z beat the strap, what all beat too loud, yeah. What you say? What my father say? Greater days than the Torah be the only way. Spirit like Caleb, any place that in is different. Fruitful multiply, everything else is irrelevant. 7 priests, bearing 7 shepherd road of the Yobel knee before the ark of Yahuwah. Running 49ers, Jerry Rice in his prime. Received a new heart, new mind. And he said, get up and wear your crown. Don't forget you're my child. Get up and follow now. I'm with you in the world. Get up, oh get up. I'ma hold your hand and lift up. Get up, oh get up. I'ma hold your hand and lift up. Get up.
Oh, praise to the great I am. I feel like Ak did a wonderful job with that album. Back when I was a young man, running wild, I love when the hip hop artist would make an album and it had something for everybody, and it became like a template to have a platinum album. You had to make a song for the ladies that they can feel, special and honored. So you got a song, praising the ladies, holding it down, being strong women. Then you had a song for the club. You had to have a club song that they can go crazy to in the club. And then you had to have something for the streets, for the brothers out there, doing dirt. And that formula became like the formula to have a platinum album. And listening to Zamaria's album, he has something for everybody. He has the praise ballads where you could just really get into your, your secret prayer closet and really praise the Most High, cry out. Gets Up is that club ballad, for those, like to dance around and because our nation, that's what we do. You see every victory, we went through the city dancing, praising the Most High. So that album is something, man. I thank the Most High for blessing him with that. It's something for everybody on that album. Anybody want to share what they got for this word, or pagans say worship?
Shabbat.
You cut out towards the end. You want to repeat that?
Shabbat. Shabbat.
Is it the wrong word up there? What word y'all say? Did I? I what word do you see on the screen? Let me make sure.
Oh, Salakia, Shachah, Shachah,
Okay, I'm about to
Salakia.
say this tech. Now I'm about to say this technology going crazy. I was like, what the world? All praises. Yeah, this is somebody got something different? Anything different?
Wait. I want to make sure I got it right. So it was Sacha or Shaka. Is it Saka like Sachah?
That's something we don't know yet. We initially when I started learning, I was pronouncing the tent as a ka with like a K, and then over the years we all began to say like we already got a K sound, so we don't think our ancestors would have a duplicate sound. So I'm still in the practice of saying ka, but we think it's a cha like ch. So Shachah or Shakah, whatever your conviction is, to the Most High sends YAHAWASHAI to come, relearn us, reteach us. We do the best, but we think now is Shachah. But again, if you say Shakah, nobody's gonna bite your head off or anything like that. We're still learning. Anybody get something different? Anything different? So this is our word. Somebody has something. This is our word for worship is Shachah. And anybody want to process why we would use these letters? Anyone want to process how they got it, or if you came up with your own breakdown why this word can fit worship? Okay, so for those still learning, the we of course everybody, this is for Facebook purposes as well. We read right to left. The Greeks came and conquered the world, and the Greeks are still running the world. And the Greeks say we are to read left to right, but we read right to left. So we start with the picture of the teeth. So that is the picture of the teeth that we start with, and that gives us our sha sound like sh. And then the next character is the tent wall. And again, we are originally when we all were learning, we thought it was a hard K sound, a ka sound, but then we already have the palm of a hand making a ka sound. So we think this is where the Germans are butchering our language, because the German ch makes that hard K sound when you hear them. You hear them like they sound like they about to hawk spit. That's the ch for the Germans, and we know who are the Germans. We know who the Germans are. So we think the tent wall really makes the cha sound. Well, in their language they taught us is ch, but we think it's the cha sound like church. And the tent wall is cha. And then the last glyph is a man with his hands raised up, and that's our ha sound. Ha sound. And we know inherently our glyphs come with what we would call a short A sound. So if you put short A's in between the glyphs, you get Shachah. Shachah. And these glyphs come with different connotations, as always, we always say. So you take the glyphs and you start processing why our ancestors would use this word for worship. Because the two front teeth can have the connotation of being paired or joined. Because most times our two front teeth are together. They're joined together. Some of us, like myself, have the Larry Spinks type teeth where we got gaps in our teeth. But Initially, that's what that two front teeth is trying to represent, that something is joined or paired. But also, we have negative connotations, and you just have to know the culture, because the two front teeth can represent being torn or torn apart. Because you guys know we just left barbecue season. For some of us, I still get out there. But when you bite into some meat, you're tearing that meat from the bone with your two front teeth, and then you pass it back to your side, to your molars and all that stuff to crush it up. But initially, when you put a piece of chicken in your mouth, you use your two front teeth to tear or pull that meat from the bone. So the two front teeth can have the connotations of being paired or joined. It's depending on the context of the speaker. If you don't know, that's why we have that slide is saying, if you don't understand the Israelite scrolls or the culture, you're not going to understand our scrolls. You have to understand the context of how these glyphs are being used. And then if we move on to the tent wall comes with connotations as well, meaning to cover, because the tent wall, our walls of our home, is covering us from the elements. It's covering us from the outside elements, from the outside people. And it also can mean protection, because, generally we feel once we make it back home and get inside the house, we are protected. We're safe again. So the tent wall can have those connotations, but it also comes with negative connotations as well, because you see in the middle of those tent walls, there's a division. So sometimes the tent wall can mean separate or dividing. It's all according to the context of the speaker of that sentence. So these are just a few examples of how learning the culture really unlocks the scrolls for us. The last glyph comes with the connotation of joy or being a jubilant, because today is what? Today is Saturday, and it's college football day for everyone who loves college football. And you know what they do when they score a touchdown? They raise their hand in joy and victory. So a man with his hands raised can have the connotation of being happy or joyful. Also, it has the connotations of the spirit of man or the spirit of Yah, because that is our ha sound. And you can see how a man with his hands raised, it forms the pagan H, and the H has the ha sound. And the reason why we would use ha, or the man with his hands raised, to represent spirit, is because when you say the ha, the H words, you're saying the H words from deep down inside your diaphragm, and you can hear your spirit. You can hear your air, the air ha. So our air or our breath, the breath of life in us, that's spirit. That's the same spirit that Abba breathed into Adam, and the text say he became a living soul. So the ha could represent spirit. Now, every spirit is not good. Again, I'm just taking my time. This is Shabbat, so I'm not in a rush. But the Most High revealed to me years ago how everyone inside the Christian religion wants to be spiritual. We got to get in the spirit. We got to be spiritual. And the Most High just says, well, just about everything in this realm is spiritual. But what spirit did it come from? Because you have the spirit of lust, pornography. So everything being spiritual is not the goal. Being spiritual according to Abba is the goal. So when you see the hand of the man with his hands raised, don't always assume it's referring to Abba's spirit. You have to check the context. So this word for us is Shachah, and the pagans say worship. And as I'm still learning and growing, I'm challenging myself every day to grow more and learn more, and just to play with the culture. I can see why the elders would use these glyphs to represent worship, because remember, for us Israelites, our way of life is concrete. Nothing is abstract like the pagan, like the Greek world. The Greek world has an abstract way of life, like I'm feeling sick. And for a Shemitic person like us, we wouldn't even know how to process that. You're feeling sick. Like, what does that mean? Now, if we come and says, my soul is down, my soul is humbled, we understand that, because we understand your soul being humble, you're in a lower state. So Shachah for me, just one way. I'm going to do a positive and a negative. The positive connotation is I'm being paired to the covering spirit. I'm being paired to the covering spirit. I ran out of time when the tech came out and interrupted my flow, but I was trying to find a verse. If anyone knows one offhand or want to pull one up, I was trying to find a text, a kathab, where it says the Most High covers us. So one way, a positive connotation for Shachah, which the pagans say worship, is you're being paired or joined to the covering spirit. And if you check the lexicons, like I always encourage you to do, they give a definition of to bow down or to worship, to bow down or to worship. And I says, okay, so what are we doing when we bow? Because there's different prostrations for prayer. And when the Most High started converting me back over to being a Israelite, I always wanted to keep the culture. So to kneel, to bow, to lay out in front of him. And then again, as the Most High doesn't overwhelm you. He gives you things in levels. So once he, okay, bow down, prostrate, humble yourself. And I'm doing that, like not being ritualistic, but just to let him know I fear you, I respect you, I know I'm not worthy to be approaching you. So I would humbly bow. I got bought my prayer rug, and then again, as he's still grooming me, one day he says, well, when you're standing on your feet, do you really think you stand before me? And I was like, what? That's how the Most High blows you. Like Ya'Allah is sharing, like you even on our feet, and we got athletes like Shaq. Shaq is like 7'3". Manute Bol, I think he was one of the tallest ever, 8'1" or 8'2". Even the tallest man, even the giants who lived in the land, you're never standing before Yah. You can't. So it's like, you think standing is disrespectful? Like, you think because you're on your 2 feet talking to him, you're being, like, just because you're on your 2 feet, you're nothing to Abba. Like, so it's just one of these, it's just one of these things, how the Most High grows you in stages. Like, but yeah, to bow down is one of those things where you're showing that, he said, Chef said he was 7'7"? Somebody was 7'7"? Wow. So even on our feet, we're not really standing before Abba, but as a sign of submission, we bow down or prostrate. So when I look at it from that way, I'm pretty much, how did I say this? Oh my goodness. You're tearing yourself before the spirit. Like when you bow down, you're tearing down that middle wall of partition, the YADAH Abba Yah. So we know the scriptures talk about the middle wall of partition. Now the Christians don't know what they're talking about. That's that middle wall of partition that Galatians is talking about, or Ephesians. That's the middle wall between the northern kingdom and southern kingdom. I just got to put that out there. But when we bow down to the Most High, it's a true sign. We're tearing down that wall that separates us from him. Let him know, I know I'm nothing. I know I'm not worthy. So I'm humbly coming before you. I'm bowing down, prostrating. And we only do that for Abba. We only do that for Abba. We don't humble ourselves or bow down before anybody, not even the Son. I got some text we're going to go into. Sister Joy shared the Kathab, the YADAH Abba, because like I said, that tech broke my flow. Let's see what sis put up. All praise. That why see, that's why we need all hands on deck. That's the perfect one. So the one way I process this is I'm being joint to the covering spirit. I'm being joint to the covering spirit. And Sister Joy put in the text, one of our staples, Psalms 91. Psalms 91 and 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. His law, his amat is going to be our protection, meaning us keeping his law is going to cause him to protect us. The YADAH Rabbah says that is the perfect verse. I don't know why that text, like I said, he broke my flow, but that's the perfect verse. And you see how we find the text to support what we're saying. We don't start stretching things and contorting the text. The Most High gave me the process of I'm being joint to the covering spirit, and we have and it's just one text, maybe more out there. We have the text to say the Most High covers us. I thought Nariah dropped something. So this is just one way to process that being positive. And then, of course, negative, you're separating yourself from the covering spirit. Because if we bow down to an idol, if we partake in pagan Christmas, if we partake in pagan Thanksgiving, which is not commanded in scriptures, now we're separating ourselves from the covering spirit. So that's just one way I came up with. Anyone want to unmute? You see something or you had something?
Khan, this is just a witness because me and Joyce were just talking about it the other day in regards to what worship really is. And I've said it a couple of times before, that eating food is a form of worship. Everything from our clothes, the way you live essentially is a form of worship.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, this is just a witness. And I actually had Psalm 91 typed on my phone, but I didn't press enter. I'm here working. So, but the Most High just, you know, his spirit just flowing, and it just, okay, well, if he didn't use me, boom, he just used Sister Joy. So it's all praises for that. But, even when it comes to pagan Thanksgiving that just passed by, what I see is to partake. So, like the two front teeth being as to partake
Mm.
in the eternal revelation, which is the law, the Torah. So, one of the biggest things that I've recently, when I was waking up and separating myself from all of this paganism, some people will say, well, we know you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but here, take a plate anyway. And me knowing that that food is sacrificed to another god, essentially, I don't even want that. I don't want your food. I don't want no gifts. I don't want anything that you're doing in the name of anything other than Yahweh.
Calm.
So that's how I processed it, but I yield.
Oh, and that's wonderful too, because when you just said that, being joined to or partaking, the tent wall, the cha, that's the first character of the word feast for us. The word feast is chag, the tent wall, and then the leg of a man. Because chag, you're going to a tent to gather with your peoples. So how you process that, that's just all praise to the great I am. That's the man. That's being reconnected to the culture. How you did say you're joining yourself to a feast, because chag is our word for feast. All praises. Ya'Allah, you had your hand up out.
Yeah, I could like sort of relate what Naraya said about the food. Yeah, I didn't partake with them, but my dad did ask me, "Did you want to play?" And like I did say yes, but I prayed over it. I prayed for the restoration of Yasharallah during me praying over it, because yeah, I knew it was sacrificed unto those bad idols, yes, but I prayed over the food and said, um like, dear Abba, like, Dawada for this food, Dawada for your restoration of Yasharala, Dawada for like keeping me covered in your covenant, Dawada for like eventually restoring everyone back to your original Torah Allah. Like, is that still bad what I did, or is that okay, or I don't.
Well, your family don't know. They're acting out of ignorance. So that's why we have a prayer. It's in our law that we pray that the Father forgive us for our sins of ignorance. So that's what you pray for your family while they're still in their slumber, their ignorance. Just pray for the Most High forgive them for their sins of ignorance. They don't understand that the Roman calendar is set up to honor pagan deities. More importantly, Thanksgiving is the pilgrims' celebration for subduing our native forefathers who were copper-colored people, and research proves they were indeed Israelites. They spoke Israelite dialect. They had Israelite customs of Shachah. They had the Israelite customs of when a sister was going through her nadah, her time of the month, she would separate from the family. So our families, we just pray for them and pray for their ignorance. As you grow into this thing, you'll develop your own walk, your own relationship, and so you just continue to worship the Father in spirit and truth. And if you're convicted to abstain, that's what you do. If you're not convicted, you want to continue to partake and pray for them. You can, because they're not directly serving that food to idols. The Romans did, the Greeks did. Our families and friends are over here being captives and just haven't awakened to the truth of the matter. So I don't think any of our families actually, sacrificed that swine to a false deity. They prayed to a false deity. They probably said their prayer in Jesus' name. We know that's a false deity, but they're doing these things out of ignorance. They're doing these things out of ignorance. So our goal as righteous Israelites is try to shed some light on them with love. So you continue to pray for the family, and Most High be with you throughout your journey, throughout your walk. So I do got some kathobs to go along with this word, and again, we just, all our classes, our way of life is just all cohesive if you keeping up, paying attention. So this is going into destroying Christian dogma with the Trinity. We are joined to the covering spirit, and the text says the Most High, Psalms 91:4, He is the spirit that covers us. So we give this worship, we bow down, we prostrate ourselves before the Father, not the Son. So the first one as my witness is Isaiah 42:8. Isaiah 42:8, and this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful connection. Isaiah 42:8, and I'm going to read it from the KJV, just for the sake. I have it up here now. This is Isaiah, Yashayahu 42, verse 8. And it says, I am YAHAWAH, that is my name, and my glory I will not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. So initially, I was listening to the playback of Gentiles 2, I think it was last week. Yeah, I think it was either Gentiles 2 or Gentiles 1. I think it was 2, Gentiles 2. And we referenced this verse. And the Most High says, did you hear that? I'm like, yeah, I know this verse. Like I use this verse to teach against the Trinity, where he's saying, I will not give my glory to another. And this is one of the verses I've been using to support that there is no Trinity. The Most High is not going to give his glory to another, not even his Son. And then the Most High, I love this thing, man. Like Allah's having his days, but I still have days where this Most High is amazing. He says, go back and play that again. So I pulled the YouTube class back, and I think Shemaryah was reading it, or Nariah was reading it, and he says, did you catch that? I'm like, so then I had to pause the whole video because now I can't even, when the Most High starts talking to me, man, I'm live on Facebook, but listen, listen, it is what it is. This job fired me, Most High blessed me with another job. So I couldn't focus once the Most High kept poking me. I couldn't focus. I had to pause the video. Then I had to pull out my hard copy. I said, let me turn to the hard copy and see what this verse is saying. So I'm reading it. I would not give my glory to another. And then he, like I teach you all, he's teaching me. He reminded me, go back up a few verses to get the context. And I said, oh my Yah. So I said, Father, you are wonderful. So before I explain the whole breakdown, what he just said here, let's get the second witness. Shamaria, you stationary? You want to carry the load with us today? Let me move myself out the way. So the second one is coming from Yochanan 4:22. Watch how good the Most High is. Yochanan or John 4:22. And Shamaria, if you are not stationary, don't worry about it. I can carry it. So John 4:22. This is red letter, and this is Messiah speaking to this woman. She was a Samaritan, right? And the most slakia, I be saying that all the time, catch myself. The Messiah speaks to this woman of Samaria in John 4:22. And he says, ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship. For salvation is of the Yahadim, aka the Jews. So this is a 2-for-1. This is red letter. This is Messiah speaking. I believe that. And the Messiah, the Son, the only begotten Son, is telling this woman, we know what we worship. More specifically, or more correctly, we know who we worship. So the Son, YAHAWASHAI, the Messiah, the Lion of Judah, he's confessing once again that he worships a deity. So if he worships a deity, he cannot be the Most High deity. That's that's just this. We're reading the text verbatim. This is a plain reading of the text. Messiah is saying we know, he included himself. We know who we worship. So Messiah knows who he worships. He can't be the one receiving the worship. That's just crazy to worship yourself. That's idolatry. That's idolatry. So the Messiah is not the Most High. He says we know who we worship. And then going back to Isaiah 42:8, I am YAHAWAH, that is my name, my SHAM, and my kabod, my glory, will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Mashapop, the Father wasn't saying that he wouldn't give his glory to another deity or another person. He was saying, I'm not going to give my glory to another nation other than Israel. I said, Father, it's an equal exchange. It's, my goodness. Let me just let this flow. What's going on between Isaiah 42:8 and John 4:22? It's a covenantal relationship. Another way to explain it is reciprocity. Because we worship him in spirit and truth, he's not going to give his glory to another people. My goodness. Because we worship him, and we are the only nation that worships him, that shachahs him. All these other nations we see, they're worshiping Roman and Greek deities. But we, the children of Israel, we were chosen We were set apart. We were called out. We were called out to worship him. And because we do this, or when we do this, now he says, I'm not going to give my glory to another nation, not another deity. I'm not going to put my glory, I'm not going to put my name, I'm not going to put my likeness on another nation. Let me get the proof text, because like he told me, go back up. He says, this is Isaiah 42 and 6. I think this should be enough. Isaiah 42 and 6 is going to give us more context. He says, I, Yahawah, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thy hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and to them that sit in darkness, and out of the prison house. I am Yahawah, that is my name, and my glory I will not give to another. As Shemaiah was breaking this down in the Gentiles 2 class, those people sitting in darkness, those people in the prison houses, those were the lost Israelites. And that's where Messiah started his ministry when he was first on the earth. He started in northern Israel, the northern kingdom, in an area called Galilee of the Gentiles. So when the Most High says, I will not give my glory to another, he wasn't saying that I'm not going to give my glory to another deity. He says, this honor of being pulled out of darkness, of having my spirit back on you, I'm not going to give this to another people. My glory is only for Israel, Yashar Allah. All praise to the great I am. Any comments or questions? I love the Most High, y'all.
I knew where you was going with that, and I think it's saying, I'm not sending my son to another nation, because the Most High's glory is YAHAWASHAI.
Khan, it's definitely it's one of those dual prophecies, because the son is the ultimate servant. I'm telling you, if you guys get into the spirit, listen to these classes, we're going back to back. Messiah is the first servant. He is the servant. Like we always say with Michigan, the University of Ohio. Messiah is the ultimate servant of Abba. So he's the ultimate one. He did it the best, and ain't nobody going to outdo him. But we also have a task now. We also have a task, and many of us have taken up the mantle to go into these prison houses, meaning your family, to go into your workplace and shed light onto those sitting in darkness. So this is a dual Shemaiah. What we're bringing out. This is a dual prophecy. Messiah is the glory. He is the ultimate glory of Father. And this is what he said when he opened up that scroll and just had them amazed in the temple. He went right to the place where it says, the spirit of Yah is upon me to preach freedom to to lead the captives free. So when Messiah quoted this right here, he was letting them know, I'm tasked to open up the prison houses. I'm tasked to pull y'all out of darkness. But what I'm bringing out now is a 2-for-1. Not only does this cover Messiah himself, this covers us as his people. He's not going to put his glory, which is the ultimate, his son. He's not putting that on anybody else, because I think Shemaiah said it, or one of the brothers said it in the Gentiles class. The son wasn't sent to no other nation. So the son being the glory of Yah, the son is the ultimate glory. But we as a people, as a nation, we were all supposed to be, oh, Father, help me. We having church in here. My proof text is, let me go to it, because it's the one that Christians love to pull up, and they don't understand what that verse is saying. I'm going to give you a text so you know I'm not just in my own flesh here. This is one of the famous Christian texts that they don't understand what Paul is saying. Yep. Water by Romans 3:23. If you have your text, Romans 3:23 is my proof text that this glory not being given to another is for our nation. Is for our nation. Romans 3:23. The Christians read this and they believe they're combating our teachings, but they don't even understand what this is saying. Romans 3:23 says, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yah." So the Christians read this, but they don't have any understanding of what Paul is saying. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yah. To sin, you have to know what sin is. Sin is transgression of the laws. The Father didn't give his laws to another nation. So when Paul says all have sinned and come short of the glory, he's referring to the nation. The nation. So this is a proof text to help support what I'm saying for Isaiah 42:8. I will not give my glory to another. It's the nation as well. The Son is the ultimate glory, and he was only sent to our nation. But we as the people living in righteousness, living according to the covenant, we are the only ones being enriched, being blessed with the glory of Yah. And because we all missed it, we were either our ancestors were directly, blatantly disobedient, or us being growing up in captivity, we were just lost and we fell short of the glory. But now the Father is back with us and his glory is back upon us. That sister making me well, not just making for me, but that sister thinking of me and making a pasta salad with turkey, the glory of Yah is back with his people. All praise to the great I am. This just is one of those things, family. Listen, the spiritual battles or spiritual wars are real, and it proves that the Most High is with us. For the enemy wants to destroy us and take us away from Abba. But this proves we are in covenantal relationship. This is reciprocity because we worship him and only him. He gives his glory to only us. It's an equal exchange. For y'all only honoring and worshiping me, I'm only giving my glory to you. This is what we take pride in. This is what we take pride in. And I don't have to be out here belittling other nations. You know, enjoy what the Most High allows you to enjoy, but we're in covenant. His glory is on us. All praise to the great I am. Any comments or questions about that? Man, I feel like we done had church already.
And I agree with that. And then, you could use Ezekiel chapter 43. So like Romans shows how, the glory on the whole nation. And then Ezekiel 43 is the glory being represented by the Messiah.
Let me get there out. Which verse you pulling out?
Just at the beginning, even the subheading says it's the return of Adonai. But verse 1 and 2, it says, afterwards he brought me to the gate that looketh toward the east, and behold, the glory of the power of Israel came from the way of the east, and his voice was like the noise of many waters, and the earth shined with his glory. And you just keep on going down. Verse 4, and the glory of YAHAWAH came into the house by the way of the gate, whose prospect is towards the east. And, it sets the stage for 44 and so on and so forth.
All praise. That's a perfect proof text. I mean, this is just, man, Father, like, and this is also a burden because these people, you know what, the Most High will be done, but the level of revelation that he's just peeling back over the years, man, you really have to be a humble and a hungry and humbled Christian to come out and be able to see this stuff, man. The Most High is awesome. The Most High is awesome. I love reading his word. The prophecies are my meat and potatoes. All praise. Anybody else have anything else? Anything else? So in closing, for the Sharash Ibar, the Hebraic context of the pagan word worship, just one way to process it means you're joint to the covering spirit. You're joint to the covering spirit. And the Most High has been covering the nation of Israel, Yasher Allah, since its inception. All praise to the great I am. That was our word for today, Shachah or Shachah. And again, it was a repeat word, but the Most High gave it to me because we still are trying to help people understand that worship, even though these translations are using the word worship, in cultural context, our elders did not worship the Son. They honored him. They gave him reverence. And there's a very fine line between honoring and paying homage to worship. But these pagan words can't convey these things. So we have people and bless their heart. They really think they're doing some service. They really think they're working for the kingdom. They're pulling all these verses that's saying that they worship Christ. They worship Christ. And it's like you're reading a pagan translation. You don't understand Hebraic context of our words. The Son is not going to let you give him the same thing that's due his Father. He would be just, I don't even want to say that. That's disrespect. The Son is not going to let you do that. The Son is not going to let you do that. He knows worship is for the Father. He told the lady in John 4:22, we know what we worship. Or again, a better translation, Messiah says, we know who we worship. We know who we worship. So even though these translations are saying they worship the Messiah, they worship Christ, culturally the Israelites wouldn't worship Christ. That goes against the very first commandment. Anybody knows what the first commandment is? We read it earlier. Navarre, you got something up?
I just was going to go back to the conversation y'all were having about glory. The first commandment, the greatest commandment, to love Yah with all your heart. But I wanted to go back to that word glory and how it ties into what y'all were saying. And I don't know if anybody had said it, but the word is kabod. Kabod, the palm of the hand, the floor plan or the house, and then the door. And it's powerful. I don't know if y'all saw my comment a few minutes ago. I just read John 17:4-5. YAHAWASHAI said, I have glorified you on the earth. I have finished the work which you gave me to do. And now, O Father, glorify you me with your own self, with the glory which I had with you before the world was. So the way I look at that word kabod or glory is to be given entrance to the house by the door. Glory, kabod. Now, how many doors or gates are in the new kingdom? 12. Whose names are written on those 12 doors or gates in the new kingdom. And I yield with that. All praises.
And I love it because this John 17:5, again, we're dealing with the translations. We're dealing with cultural translations. He says, I have glorified thee with thy own self. And he says, where did you read it at? John 17:4. For some, you posted. Okay, I see what happened. John 17:4. I have glorified thee on the earth. Mashapat, the Most High, Slaka, did Messiah appear on the earth, the whole earth? Messiah didn't appear on the whole earth. He only appeared in Israel, the northern and southern kingdom. There's no way around that. When the text says, I have glorified thee on earth, a better translation, I have glorified thee in Zion. I have glorified thee in Zion. I have lifted you up in Zion. And then as a blueprint, he sent out his 12 and told them, don't go into the way of the other nations. Don't go to the Gentiles. Only go to the lost sheep of Israel, Yasharallah. So this is another proof text of how the Most High is giving us revelation. We just don't get a idea that sounds great and then we're going to teach it. No, we're going to dig and make sure that this is of Abba. So when Isaiah 42 is saying, I'm not going to give my glory to another, it's meaning nationally. I'm not sending, my son is my ultimate glory. And he's only sent to Israel. And then secondarily, Israel has my glory. The nation is going to be my diadem again. Oh, Father, I could just keep. The text just supports this. The text says Israel is the apple of his eye. Israel is his inheritance. So we the only ones have his glory. No other nation can take this from us. You can translate this into Latin, which they did, the Latin Vulgate. You could translate this into a German text, which they did. It doesn't. You can't take these cultural blessings, promises to us. All praise to the great I am. Any comments or questions about Shachah? Edit that snippet out. What are you talking about, Chef? That snippet out. I must have misspoke. I hear that a lot. I be so excited to get before y'all to share what the Most High and reveal. And man, but yeah, I be transposing verses, transposing names sometimes. Most High be magnified.
He was talking about the work part.
I don't care about those pagans. It don't bother me. It don't bother me. All praises. So that's our work today, and Most High be magnified. He gave that to me to share, and again, it's just trying to help people understand. Culturally, we don't worship the Son. We honor him. We're trying to make his name great in the earth again. The Most High blessed us with some research. Now we know close. Our brother's name is YAHAWASHAI, not YAHAWASHAI like we thought. And that's one thing I'm going to constantly reiterate. We, the Torah Group, we don't have any organizational doctrine. There is no doctrine that we hold to that, you got to teach it this way if you're part of us. We want to hear it all. We just want witnesses so we can sit down ourselves and sift through what can be verified and what can't. So that's just, and I'm giving all glory to the Most High because he's been guiding me how to conduct things. You have a lot of these organizations, once they teach something one way, that's how it got to be taught. So you could be sitting in an organization and the Most High really can be dealing with you, showing you something else, but that organization ain't going to let you bring that out. They're going to all pretty much jump on you and try to drown you out and show you how you're wrong. But it's all their philosophy. They can't produce witnesses, and we just can't do that here. I'm not trying to badmouth. All praise to every organization, assembly out there. If you're really trying to move in righteousness and you think what you're doing is righteous and your heart is sincere, Most High be with you, and he covers us all where we fall short. But we don't have any organizational doctrine. If something is taught, I don't care how old it is. If you go back on a channel and you find something and it says, hey, I think this is, I'm not married to anything. I'm going to search it out. We just can't be flip flopping because you done heard some emotional radical teacher and now, oh, that sounds good. And no, bro. Like I got some brothers sending me some stuff from some of the Pan-African legends and saying how the Hebrews left Egypt with a African language and African culture, and their laws came from the laws of Mayat. And I'm like, I done heard all this before. They can't produce no witnesses. Furthermore, when you understand what happened, just because a kingdom was set up and established before our kingdom, don't mean our kingdom copied off their kingdom. Because even though Egypt is one of the most ancient kingdoms, it had Israelites running it. Joseph, Yahweh ran Egypt. So, and more importantly, before we came there as a nation, Yahweh or Joseph was still there guiding the Pharaoh. So just because Egypt may have some old text that's older than any of the scrolls, don't mean they had it first. It's like assuming that a lawyer is better than another lawyer because this lawyer been practicing law longer. Just because you've been practicing law for 50 years and I just came and passed the bar last year, don't make you a better lawyer than me. And that's what these I guess I don't want to be mean. A lot of my brothers are genuinely, they are thinkers and researchers. So when they send me these things, I give all praise to Yah, because at least they're trying to search the matter out. They know I'm an Israelite. They know I changed my name, so they're sending me these videos like, what do you think about that? Have you heard this position? And I'm like, yeah, I came across that when I was, because again, it took me years to finally be convinced that we are Israelites. So in my beginning stages, I wouldn't even repeat to anyone that I think we're Israelites, because I didn't have enough hardcore evidence, and I didn't have enough training. And so I would listen to everyone, and so I listened to these people who say, yeah, the Hebrew story is copied from this and copied from that. It's like, you don't have any text. Babylon, one of the oldest nations, was being ran by an Israelite, Daniel. So just because Babylon was set up before our nation, and now you can read things in a Babylonian text, oh, that's where the Bible got that from. I mean, your understanding, like, I can't help you. Your understanding is just limited. Just limited. I don't know why I'm here, but all praise to the great I am. Any other questions out there? Any other topics pressing? I felt like we really had church in here just with the Sharash Ibar. So I have a confession, and I don't know. It's one of those things I didn't get confirmation. So yesterday I was listening to some text, some YouTube. What I was listening to, was it I think it just was the Old Testament was playing. Yeah, the Old Testament was this YouTube channel that they be live, like, broadcasting, and it's a reading of the Old Testament. Then they have one channel where they read the New Testament. Anyway, while I was listening to the word, I felt like I heard the Most High say that, because again, like, I love it when I'm ahead of schedule, like when I got slides or classes built for a couple of weeks, because it gives me some breathing room and I can relax. But I do, Most High do bless me to work under pressure. And so yesterday I felt like I heard the Most High say that wanted to address spiritual pain, like pain or spiritual pain. So when I heard it, I'm at the job again, and I'm like, well, my first thought was, well, I got the slides for Oaths and Covenants already built, but throughout the day I kept hearing it, and I'm like, well, Father, if this is really you, just give me confirmation, and I go home and I get into the text to give a word about, using the word to heal you spiritually, because a lot of us, myself, like, I have pains. I have some old pains, old wounds that haven't been healed from family and different relationships. But anyway, I didn't get confirmation. I felt like I didn't get confirmation that was him. So I didn't know if that was my carnal mind thinking about building a class about spiritual healing and using the Father's word. So I didn't get to it. But now I'm feeling like I don't want to be disobedient and go into Oaths and Covenants, and someone else out there has something that was pressing on their heart or mind. So the floor is open. If you wanted to share something you've been studying, got some questions, we just have an open discussion. I'm just scared. I don't want to get into no fire. I'm how we say, I'm walking on thin ice as is. So I don't want to get into Oaths and Covenants today, because I'm just feeling convicted that but again, I had a couple of stops to make. That threw me off too last night after work. So, but again, I just didn't receive any confirmation. So, the floor is open. You guys got any questions, any issues, anything you want to share you came across, read? If not, we just close out. You can enjoy your Shabbat.
Khan, yeah, I just wanted to say some. I prayed to Abba the other day, and like all I said was, Abba, I just want I just want my own farm, my own cattle, my own maids, my I want my wine, I want my herbs, I want all you guys living in the same community together on like one road, just one people. Like that's all that I want. like that's all that I pray for. That's all I want. Like just because cause just imagine that. That's peace. That's like shalom. There won't be any bad things happening. But like I just prayed for that. But and like I can't wait for that because it's gonna happen. It's been written that he's gonna restore his people. So yeah, I just gotta be patient.
Kind of, it's funny you say that because my wife and I were just talking this morning about some things, some goals we have for our home, and we was just going rehearsing how we got this home and how the Most High was with us the whole process. And I said he definitely was. Then I says, if he blessed me though, if he blessed me to hit that lottery, I'm going to get some acres because at first I didn't want to be in the woods. Now that the Most High has blessed me with understanding, I'm like you. I want to get some 40, 50 acres and we all out there just doing what we want to do, having bonfires all night, singing, praising. Got our sport rifles with us. We can go hunting when we want. Most High will be done. Most High will be done. The water for that. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Con, I'll talk about, I'll just put one or two things out there and just see if it sparks anything, and then it shouldn't be too long and we could just close out. Uh,
Con.
but I've been, studying and working. I was hoping I could be finished to teach today, but I just can't rush the Most High. So it's definitely some stuff I would love to. I can't wait to talk about it, but it's like everything starts out as like a wide, you know, like a net of information, and then you got to try to go back and see how you can break it down for the people. So this first thing, if I can share my screen, I don't know. I had to go back and get another computer up.
They
Um,
gave you a bad computer.
no, the price was just, it didn't make sense. So they had the M2, and it was just a $50 difference because of like Black Friday for the
Okay.
M4. So I had to do it.
Oh yeah, don't make dollars. It don't make sense.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's gonna let me share, but let me see if it is. Um,
If not, I just can make you the host. Yep.
Let me see. Let's allow.
Is
Okay,
that
so
on
you
you?
so you can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So this is a book. You might see the title. You might see the title by accident, but I was gonna hide the title until we get to it. But I've been reading this book, kind of looking at, because
Hold
it's
on. Hold on. I think I got focus mode on. 'Cause I may be the only one who can see your screen. Let me double check that because I could take that off.
hold on real quick. Let me get the other one.
Yeah. Let me take off. Oh no, they can see it. Okay, they can see your screen.
Okay, and let me close that. Um, I'll share all like the source and stuff. Like I said, you might be able to see it on the screen anyway. But when I actually teach more the class, I'm trying to work on it. But just two parts that's kind of learning something on the way to learning something, because it's about the Gentiles. I'm trying to stay in focus with that. But learning something on the way to learning something, reading this book, this first one here, it says, the festivals celebrated in Palestine were also brought to the diaspora, and these included not only the traditional celebrations such as Pesach or Passover and Tabernacles, but also the new festivals of Purim and Hanukkah. So this is a witness right here, and like I said, it'll make more sense later, but this is a witness right here that um, our people celebrated these feasts even though they were scattered or in captivity. I don't know where you want to take it from there. I just want to throw this as a thing on the wall, and then anybody can comment about it.
Khan, this is a 2-for-1 because there are some again, I've tuned a lot of noise out. Again, I'm matured over the years, but for people who still out there listening to different voices, there is a belief that we ain't supposed to be keeping feast days in the land of our captivity. This reference that you have here on the screen doesn't support that, and neither does the prophecy. The Most High prophecy says they will remember me in the far lands and come back to me. So this is another witness that we did keep the festivals in the land of our captivity the best we could. Of course, it probably could have been. It didn't look like it looked in Zion because we had limitations. So that's A. We did the ones who wanted to be righteous with Abba. We kept the feast the best we could, even scattered. And then 2, this supports what I'm saying, how these other nations who are older than our nation, because remember, Solomon set up the nation and built the house and all that stuff. So that's when we really became like, that's when we, I guess, for the other people, the other nations, they respected us as a kingdom, as a world power once Solomon set up shop. But that was hundreds of years since Babylon was up and running. Since Nimrod was the first world power, Nimrod was the father of the Canaan rule. So these other nations may have been older than us, but we were scattered among these people, still practicing what Abraham passed down. So if these other nations have things similar to what we do, it's not that we copied off them. It's just that our people have been around forever. We just didn't have a physical kingdom set up. But we kept tabernacles in the feast. 40 years in the wilderness, we were doing Passover. 40 years in the wilderness, we were doing Passover without no physical land to call home. So this for me, this is a 2-for-1. Just because a nation is older than us, don't mean our people copied off that nation if that nation has something similar to what we're doing. And then 2, we did keep our feasts even in captivity. So this is a 2-for-1. That's all I yield with that.
Gone. Anybody else wanted to say anything?
Khan, yeah. Did y'all notice on the dollar bill that there's like four sixes on the front, like on each corner?
I
That's
didn't.
wild.
I
Yeah, there's
rarely keep
four.
cash on me.
Yeah, there's like 4 6s on it. Like that's insane. Like I just wanted to say that because like because Babylon literally encodes its signature right onto their their currency. And like even on the back, the pyramid with the all-seeing eye, that's Masonic, that's Egyptian, that's the occult. And the Latin phrases, Anuit Coptis, that says he has favored our undertakings. Who has favored your undertakings? Who? And the other one, Novus Ordo Seclorum, New Order of the Ages. That literally says New World Order.
Mhm.
Like what? Plus, I got witnesses for that, like Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Matthew 6:24. You cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. And also Haggai 2:8. The silver is mine and the gold is mine, saith Yahweh Tezabah. Like, come on now. But I yield.
Also, to support what your Allah just brought out, um, this past week, watching the news with my rib, they're getting ready for the Winter Olympics, and they show how they were having rehearsals, and I'm like, I really couldn't believe she said that, but she just said it like it was a matter of fact, like, and they're lighting the light of Diana or something, and then talking about this is in honor of the Greek gods. I'm like, babe, I looked at my wife like, so they know, like, it's they know this is all idol worship, but it's fun. They make it glorious now. They got all this. I like, Father, I'm just glad to be set apart. Glad to be set apart. I yield with that.
Con, absolutely. Um, the last one is right here, same book. And like I said, I'll share all that stuff when I bring out the class. But this one says here, one of the most important privileges in Jewish eyes was the permission to collect money and send it to Jerusalem. Um, and it says Augustus stressed this in the clearest possible fashion, not being satisfied with mere permission, but also classifying the money as sacred funds. Anyone who stole it was liable to the death penalty, as Hero Cilios, one guilty of sacrilege. And then it says Agrippa made penalty inflicted on the robbers even more severe. According to his letters to the citizens of Ephesus, the accused could not be taken from sanctuary and must be handed over to the Jews. So this was something that stuck out to me. For one, um, you'll see later, but this is gonna when I bring everything out, it's gonna help show that when he wrote to the Ephesians, that he was talking to the Israelites. So this is just I'm looking for proof to support that. But on the way to that, I saw this about how we collected money and sent it back to Jerusalem. That means that it would be Israelites scattered in another city or land, and then they would remember home. And it just had me thinking about how we look at, like the Hispanics and the Mexicans and things like that nowadays. We know they'll come over here and work or whatever the case may be, and then they send money back home. And I'm like, dang, we was, scattered all over the place and trying to still send money back home. And when you read Acts chapter 11, you can see them doing this. um, Let me see. Acts chapter 11, and I just start at 22.
I wonder if this may be the one I'm thinking of. If not, I'll pull it.
Okay. Acts chapter 11 and 22, it says, the tidings of these things came unto the ears of the church, which is the congregation or the called out assembly, which was in Jerusalem. And they sent forth Barnabas that he should go as far as Antioch, who, when he came, and had seen the grace of the Most High, was glad and exhorted them all that with purpose of heart they would cleave unto YAHAWAH. For he was a good man and full of the Holy Spirit and of faith, and much people was added unto YAHAWAH. Then departed Barnabas to Tarshish for to seek Shawal or Paul. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that whole year they assembled themselves with the assembly and taught many people. And the disciples were called Christian first at Antioch. And we know that's a whole nother
Mm-hmm.
situation there, um, seen as derogatory at first. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch. And there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit that there should be great death or dearth throughout all the world, which came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. Then the disciples, every man according to his ability, determined to send relief unto the brethren which dwelt in Judea, which also they did, and sent it to the elders by the hands of Barnabas and Saul.
And the one I was thinking of is actually in 1 Corinthians 16, showing the same thing, that they took up collections for the people back home. It says this is 1 Corinthians 16 and 1. Now concerning the collection for the saints, as I have given order to the churches of Galatia, again, the churches of Galatia, they're taking up collection for the saints. Even so do ye. Upon the first day of the week, let every one of you lay by him in store as Yah has prospered him, that there be no gatherings when I come. And when I come, whomsoever ye shall approve by your letters, them I will send to bring your liberality unto Jerusalem. Father. So why would these Galatians and Ephesians be sending money to Jerusalem?
Absolutely. And that's what I was seeing. That's what everybody will see. And a lot of us we know this now, but like, just the proving it, and it's just got my eyes open. It's like, wow, like the information is really all there. Like it really is sad that our people really believe that these people are just random Gentiles, meaning people from another nation doing all of these things in the New Testament. And the whole time it's really just the Israelites. But I don't want to go too far into it. But just to go ahead and put it out there. One part of it is just like, if you live in America, they call you an American.
Yeah.
If they lived in Ephesus, then they would call them an Ephesian. And it's some proof in this same book on how this was to come to be. So I can't wait to show y'all that. But that's just putting the cart before the horse. If they was in Galatia, even though you was an Israelite practicing or a Jew practicing your faith, that you would still be called a Galatian. So um just seeing the fact that we sent this money and things like that back. And also too, I think I was telling Naraya and Zamaria, they were here. Zamaria was here last weekend for the fights, and I told them about this a little bit, how we had this thing called sacred money, quote unquote. But just the fact that it's a lot of things going on in our community to where if we was able to, without being in trouble by the law, like we would have to really put some hands and hurt some people because of the wickedness that they're doing. And this was proving that to me, because in the ancient days, even though we was in captive lands like Ephesus or Corinth or Galatia or Antioch or whatever, a lot of the time they still allowed us to practice our religion. They didn't really care about that back then. It depends on which time period. But you see here, it says that they would hand the people over to the Jews, and someone who stole that money would be liable to the death penalty. And I was just telling them some of these wicked things that brothers are out here doing, whether it be with sisters or whatever the case may be. If we was back in charge, we would really have to go and handle these situations. And so that it was like a two-part thing. The fact that we sent money back home and showing that, being scattered. And then the other part was us really following the laws and like punishing, people for, doing wickedness. It wasn't something that we took lightly. And today we got many brothers out here scamming, stealing money from congregations, people in positions of power, manipulating people and things of that nature. And it's all over the place in our community. And if we was in our right power or state that we would be, we would have to do a lot of handling of these situations. So any comments to any of that? That's just kind of like a few of the small things that I saw trying to help continue this Gentiles part 3.
Con, man. I don't want to. I really, you know, I really don't think our people are unintelligent. I just think the Most High is choosing who He chooses to open the light to, it's just fortunate. Like you saying, the witnesses are all before us. If we're just being unbiased, unindoctrinated, we can prove through every book, chapter, and verse is about the Israelite people. Just because they have new labels, they are Israelites. And I was looking around my office for one of my books that I brought out years ago about the Jews of Laos. There's a old Greek city that was called Laos, and I may have it ready when you present just to support you. But Laos is a ancient city where the Jews were lived, so much that it became a synonym for Jews. And then ironically, I think it was Gerald was asking, we had a discussion years ago about Revelation 7 and 9. And Revelation 7 and 9, where he's saying of many tongues and peoples. And one of the Greek words in Revelation 7 and 9 is Laos. And I just brought that witness out that Laos was a synonym for Jews. That's how deep we were in this land. Laos became a synonym for Jews. So it's one of these things, foot crumbs, that the Most High been using, not just us, other brothers who don't even have, organized congregations. Some brothers are from other congregations. The Most High is pulling his people together from all types of sources, even some righteous Gentiles. So the Most High his plan is for us is going to be manifest. No matter what they have or think they have, you cannot stop the Most High for gathering his sheep. The one thing that makes me mad is that the enemies, are so far ahead of us. When we go pull these witnesses talking about the customs and traditions of the Jews, the depictions are always not true depictions. I was listening to this one YouTube channel yesterday, and it was an animation of something, and I just had to put on there. I had to put a comment. I says, with all these so-called said scholars gathering this information, it's truly sad that you can't have the true depiction of the Israelites. And then my last statement to this channel was, what is your true agenda? You got all this. I'm sorry. It was an animation about ancient Babylon. So I was so bored. I said, let me see what this documentary is about. And it was about ancient Babylon, the gardens and the deities and whatnot. But the cartoon animations were not the true Babylonians. And I'm like, that's how so far behind the 8 ball we are. Even when the Most High reveals these documents to us, when we try to put our finger and go deeper, it's always the enemies beat us to it. And so it makes it hard for us to show our people these Jews we talk about are us. That's how far ahead these people are. There's another document I came across, because there's a lot of Jewish graves, but they're not really Jewish. They're Jews. There's a lot of Israelite graves in South America, because that was the second most dominant spot we ran to where we can have religious freedom. But also, this document I came across says everywhere. Now, what researchers have to do, what objective researchers have to do, not to be censored and not to have their research 86, they have to talk in codes about black Jews. So one of the most famous code words for a black Jew is going to be, they say Safarad. Safarad is pretty much a butcher word of Spain. So when you hear a writer saying the Gentiles would say Saphardim. But when they're talking about Spanish Jews, that's code for he's a dark Jew. He's a melanated Jew. And what this one text I found, when it said that a lot of the Jews were in South America, they found a lot of Jew graves with Hebrew tombstones. And he did this one article. This was years ago. I don't even know if I still have the article bookmarked it. He says, and a crafty writer has to be crafty when they're going against the grain. So you have to be skilled in reading between the lines when a writer has to be crafty, not to be censored. Because if you come out overtly like our brothers are doing now, our brothers who are full of passion, they're coming out overtly with the facts. But because their presentation and because of their lack of pagan Greco-Roman degrees, our own people want to shun the information. So you have to be skilled and cunning when you're going against mainstream history. And what this one writer did, he says it became sort of a running joke. Everywhere you would find a Spanish Jew, a Polish or German Jew would be there. And reading between the lines, what was happening, everywhere the original dark-skinned Jew migrated to or ran to, trying to get away from persecution, the Polish and German Jew would follow us because they needed to learn. They wanted to learn what to do. And they came because they had the guise of protection, because they had the money and they wasn't being persecuted like the dark Jew was. So that's why you would have, they say you would have synagogues, but the Torahs would be in two different versions. One version of the Torah was more of the Spanish Jew dialect, and then you had this other one that was in Yiddish. So this father, this is Deuteronomy 28 happening over and over again. The stranger that's among you. So those strangers that we taught them how to light manures. We taught them how to sacrifice the correct way. We taught them about tabernacles. The strangers that's among you shall get up high above you. That's what had it happened, and research proves that these strangers who we taught them how to be Hebrews. We taught them about the Most High's ways, and they're up over us. So it's just something we got to put up with, and the Most High give us grace and wisdom to deal with till He comes back and just right side the ship. But yeah, I can't wait for you to get that together and bring it out. That sounds like it's going to be a great class. Great class.
Con, I'm gonna share my screen one more time.
Yeah, please.
Just it's not. I'm not gonna share no information because, like, you get that itching information. Like, I want to show them. I want to show them. But nah, I'm not. But I did want to back you up with what you were just saying, because I be feeling the same way. Like what you just said about. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, like this is the tab of like ancient history when I guess like your algorithm when you be
Mhm.
looking on YouTube. I got one for my religious quote unquote stuff, so that way it's all the algorithm don't get like mixed up with sports and things like that. But I noticed like when I was looking at all of these different things, like I really be interested in this history sometimes.
Mhm.
My brain gotta be locked in because sometimes it's boring. But um when I look at all the majority, unless it's something from the Israelites like this one here, but a
Mhm.
majority of these ancient history depictions is always the non-melanated people. um and I thought, I literally just exactly what you said. I'm just like, man, y'all know y'all uncovering all this stuff, and yet and still it's okay for y'all when y'all use movies and things like that. Because I want to talk about this too, a little bit. But they always use their people, and then like in today's time, if we do something like it creates like a big
Yep.
controversy. But y'all been doing it for years.
Yes.
Like, you know, every Judea, and you'll have this, you know, Germany looking dude, on the screen. Um, it's just so much, man. Like I said, I definitely agree. And like I said, you'll have some where it's done now by Israelites to where they mixing it up, but majority of this Jewish revolt and destruction of the temple. But look at the person that's on the cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that's why I like that, what is it? Tahalim 83, they are Confederate against us.
Con.
And when we say it, it seems like we're being just conspiracy theorists. But your own publishing proves you have become everybody on the planet. You guys, it's like and I didn't know this at first. Again, I was a teenager, just happy to see it. But Michael Jackson and Eddie Murphy did Remembers the Times video, and it was a major production. We was all loving it. But again, at the time, I was a teenager, just happy. You know, we all love Mike Jackson, and then Eddie Murphy, and then Amani was in there, and I heard the backstory how Michael Jackson says that if we're gonna do it, we're gonna depict it right. And I'm like, yo, Michael Jackson, the world put Michael Jackson as to be some kind of like pansy and all that stuff, cause but behind the scenes, Mike was about it. Mike challenged those so-called fish people about his work and stuff. So Michael Jackson, if you guys, I know some of you may be a little bit behind us. Go to YouTube and pull up Remember the Times video. It was one of Michael's greatest hits, and the video was just awesome. But I forgot who was telling it. I don't know, it was Quincy Jones or one of them telling it. They was like, no, Michael was like, nah, we're not, no, get him out of here. We want real. So it's like, y'all have become everybody on the planet. And it's like, if you're calling yourself a doctor, like them YouTube documentaries, you're on here narrating, or you'll see the team is Dr. So-and-so, PhD so-and-so. And you got all these accolades about that you done mastered their education, and then you're gonna put some a Babylonian in front of me without melanin. You're gonna put some Hebrew in front of me without melanin. They're confederate against us. But the Most High got us though. We just gotta be patient. We gotta be patient. I just can't wait for the ball to drop. We're gonna be in the streets dancing, parading, doing the Dougie on them. Well, we're gonna do the Dougie on them. Like Zamaria, get up, wear your crown. We're gonna be doing the get up on them. Doing the get up on them. Anything else? Anything else? Anybody got anything else they want to open up, share?
Khan, yeah. I just sent something in the chat. Like, I said that I asked like a AI, like, has any like big black celebrity with like massive mainstream influence ever openly say Yahawah or Yahawashai instead of Jesus Christ or Lord? And the answer was no. The answer was no. And then I said I wonder why. Psalm 83:83. No, 83:3, my bad. And then Zephaniah 3:9. So yeah, I just put that in the chat to just to like relate what you were saying about Michael Jackson
Yeah.
and that. So
And I came across a post yesterday. I believe somebody on Facebook. He was an Israelite, and he says he put a clip of the movie. I don't know if you guys were into this series. I was. I don't know, was it Mummy or the Mummy series, or the Treasure series with Nicolas Cage. But he put a clip of the Hollywood movie showing these so-called Persian raiders or whatever they were supposed to be, and then he had the little statues from ancient Persia of the real people, and you can tell they had the afro, hair, dark skinned little statuettes, and the Hollywood versions was these so-called Europeans with dark the dark paint carvings on their face and horse hair. It's like these people become everybody, and they are confederate against us. They are confederate against us. But the Most High is going to reveal the truth in the end. And I think that I forgot the prophecy. Now I want to find it. It says, I think it's in Micah. He says the nation's going to put their hands over their mouths, like in awe and astonishment. Like, these are the people. These people wasn't crazy, but they always want to put the most radical of us to the front lines. And again, listen, I'm not here to make friends, but I'm not here also to be antagonistic. I just got to tell the truth to who the Most High put in my path, it's not wisdom to be out here shouting and always hopping in front of somebody's camera trying to explain to them the prophecies. That is not wisdom. I don't read where the Most High says to do that. So, but even with some of the brothers taking that tactic, the Most High's will is going to be done. You know, they may make it harder for us, but no matter what they do, the Most High is going to be with us. But, you know, you can only hide from the Most High so long. And I'm asking for patience and wisdom, because some days it gets hard. Some days I'm like, Father, put me to sleep before I fall and make a mistake, before I cause an embarrassment to you and my family. But the Most High will be done. He's going to expose these people at who they are. And what's funny, Mashapak, the sleep people are becoming the minority, because you got people who even not even real Hamites. You got some real Hamites, like, knowing that, you know, y'all the Jews, like, y'all the Hebrews. And I try to tell people, I'm so sick and tired of these brothers, and not only the brothers, Israelite sisters too, putting that image of Esau out there, like the Edomites. The Edomites is like, you look very foolish when you keep putting that image, talking about that's Esau, when I could take you to a verse where Edomite ran to Egypt to get away from King David. Anybody want me to pull that up? There's a verse in Kings or Second Kings where King David was on a rampage killing all the Edomites, and one of them escaped to Egypt. So what am I saying, Masha Pop? What point am I trying to make?
He blended in because the Most High raised him up years later after King David died to smite Yasharallah for our disobedience.
Come on now. This Edomite ran to Egypt to blend in. So if you got an Edomite running to Egypt, and then y'all quick to share how baby Messiah was taken to Egypt, but you keep putting these images of so-called white people as Edomites, you look very foolish. You look, to me, you sound so uneducated, it's ridiculous. And then we got history that says ancient Rome was dark. We got text that says ancient Rome, first king was an Edomite. So this is the level. This is why I stay in my own lane. Whoever the Most High brings into our path, we're going to build up and edify and help live righteously. But I'm not interested in going out here recruiting. I'm not interested in pseudo unity. We talking about we unify, and you saying YAHAWASHAI, you saying Yahusha, I'm saying Yasha, you saying this. I'm not interested in pseudo unity. I'm interested in building a community where we 10 toes down. We have each other back through financial woes, spiritual woes, emotional woes. We're living this thing. We're here for each other. The Most High be with us. Anything else? Anything else?
Con, yes. One last thing. I was on Instagram the other day, and I saw like some video. It said the first ever rap song. It was in 1946, or like it was around that time. And guess what they were singing about? It was they were all Yasharallah. It was a group, like 2 or 3 of them. Like they were all rapping about Noah's Ark.
I think I seen that. I think I seen that before. Yeah.
Boom.
I think I seen that before. Like 3 brothers was rapping. Yeah, I seen that before. It may start making its rounds again. I think I seen that a couple years ago. Yeah. We are the people of the book. We are the people. Even I think one of the brothers brought out one of my favorite researchers, and he want to help me start to become a better researcher. He brought out the fact that, and that's why I know it's a lot of pressure, but I can't wait till the brothers like Zamaria, Elder Marian, everyone, Yadan, those who are gifted with Yashar, those who are gifted with the musical talents. The book of Psalms, those are really songs. Those are put to beats and meters. You know, it's just that we lost our way. We don't know the original cadence that David, because you know David was a musician. He taught his daughter how to play 2 instruments. So when we're reading them songs, if we put it back into the ancient, we already see that our language rhymes most of the time. Ka YADAH Abba Yah, Yasha Allah Barakatha. So we already see that our ancient tongue already like just rhymes. And I used to say it years ago, uh, the Muslims, the Muslim brothers, one, I used to be around them, and sometimes, especially if you go to the penitentiaries or county lockup, the Muslim brothers, all get together in the morning, and they're gonna wake the whole, pretty much they're gonna wake the whole tier up because they're gonna be in a corner somewhere where they can project, and they're gonna be Allahu Akbar, and I can't lie, it sounds good. Like the brothers who learn the Arabic and they learn how to chant their prayers, it sounds so good, and it would make me envious because even in my younger days, I knew that was us. I knew that they got that. The Muslims are the Muslims, the original Muslims, or dark Hebrews. A lot of them were Hebrews or Shemitics. They are cousins. So it would make me envious to hear them chant their prayers in Arabic, because I knew that's what King David did. Each one of them songs is a musical song. Is a musical song. But Most High be with us. We'll get there in time. But we'll get back to the culture in time. Anything else? All right, Masha, all praise to the great I am. Again, I'm just scared to go into disobedience. So I don't know if I'm going to be up next week or Shamar Yah. Most High will be done. See what He has in store for us. Never